Have you ever worked with someone who seemed to know it all? Someone who, no matter the situation, had to be the smartest person in the room? Well, let me share a quick story with you. You see, there was this VP of marketing at a well-known company. Let's call him Dennis. Dennis was charismatic, confident, and, well, pretty convinced he was the marketing messiah. The problem? His so-called expertise was more bluster than brilliance. He insisted on being the brain behind every initiative, brushing off any suggestions that didn't align with his vision. A marketing department constantly scrambling to put his ideas into action, regardless of their feasibility or effectiveness. It was like trying to build a house on a foundation of quicksand. And the twist in our tale, despite all his bravado, Mark's strategies just didn't deliver. Ultimately, he was let go, a hard lesson in the cost of unchecked ego. This story might sound extreme, but it's a real example of how a single ego can ripple through an entire department, affecting morale, productivity, and ultimately success. So how do we deal with this? How do we navigate the tricky waters of workplace egos without capsizing our own boat? Hi, I'm Alan Stafford, and in this video, we will delve into just that. We'll explore strategies, share insights, and even more stories to help you handle the Dennises of your workplace effectively. All right, let's start by unpacking what we mean by ego in the context of our workplaces. When we talk about ego, we're referring to a person's sense of self-importance, self-esteem, and perception of their place in the professional pecking order. But here's the thing. Ego isn't one size fits all. It varies greatly from person to person. Think about it for a moment. The ego of a fresh out of college junior employee will be different from that of a seasoned executive. And it's not just about job roles. Personality plays a huge part too. Some might have a more dominant, assertive ego, while others may have a quieter yet equally firm sense of self. And let's not forget the impact of the work environment itself. High-pressure, competitive settings can amplify egos, while more collaborative, team-oriented environments might encourage more subdued expressions of ego. So, why is understanding all of this important? Because recognizing the nuances of ego in your workplace is key to navigating it effectively. It's like knowing the rules of the road in a new city. It helps you drive more confidently and hopefully avoid collisions. All right, in the next part of our video, we'll dive into how to spot ego-driven behaviors and, more importantly, what to do about them. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now that we've got a handle on what ego looks like in the workplace, let's talk about how to spot it in action. There are several telltale signs of ego-driven behaviors that, once you know them, you can't unsee them. First up, the classic interrupter. This is someone who frequently cuts off others in meetings or conversations. They often seem more interested in hearing their own voice than in collaborative dialogue. Then there's the credit hog. They're quick to take all the glory for a job well done, often downplaying or ignoring the contributions of others. And another common sign of ego in the workplace is defensiveness, especially when receiving feedback. Instead of openness to new ideas or constructive criticism, they react as if they're under attack. These behaviors can have a real impact on teamwork and the overall atmosphere of the workplace. The interrupter can stifle open communication. The credit hog can breed resentment, and defensiveness, it can create an environment where people are afraid to speak up or share their ideas. Recognizing these behaviors is the first step in addressing them. Coming up, we'll explore strategies for dealing with the ego-driven colleagues in a way that's both effective and respectful. Navigating egos in the workplace can be tricky, but it's not impossible. There are effective strategies that can help us deal with challenging egos while maintaining our professionalism. Let's walk through 3 key techniques. First, let's talk about active listening. This is more than just hearing words. It's about truly understanding and acknowledging the other person's perspective. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention. Nod, maintain eye contact, and maybe even summarize their point back to them. This shows respect and can often help in diffusing potential ego clashes. It makes the person feel heard and valued, which can be a game changer in tense situations. Next, we have effective communication. This is where the power of I statements comes into play. Instead of saying, "You're wrong about this," try framing it from your perspective. Say something like, "I feel that we might need more data to support this strategy." See the difference? It's less about pointing fingers and more about expressing your viewpoint. This method is less likely to trigger defensiveness and can lead to more constructive dialogues. Lastly, setting boundaries is crucial. This doesn't mean being confrontational. It's about politely but firmly making it clear that what behaviors are acceptable. For instance, if someone constantly interrupts you, you could say, "I value your input, but I need to finish my point before receiving feedback." It's straightforward, respectful, and sets clear expectations. These strategies, active listening, effective communication, and setting boundaries are essential tools for handling egos in the workplace. They help you navigate difficult interactions and foster a respectful professional environment. While navigating egos at work, two key qualities can make a difference: professionalism and empathy. Let's explore why they're crucial and how to maintain them even in the most challenging situations. First, professionalism. This isn't just about dressing smartly or following company protocols. It's about how you conduct yourself, especially when under pressure. Maintaining professionalism means staying respectful, composed, and objective, regardless of the situation. It's about responding, not reacting. When faced with ego clashes, take a step back, breathe, and respond in a way that upholds your integrity and respects others. This approach diffuses tensions and sets a standard for others to follow. Now let's talk about empathy. Understanding where the other person comes from can be a game changer in handling ego issues. It's about seeing beyond the surface behavior and recognizing the possible insecurities or motivations driving it. This doesn't mean you excuse negative behavior, but by understanding it, you can navigate the situation more effectively. Empathy allows for more compassionate and tailored responses, often reaching people more effectively than confrontation. And when it comes to staying calm and composed, here are a few quick tips. Practice deep breathing when you feel tension rising. Always give yourself a moment to process before responding. And remember, it's often not personal, so try not to take things to heart. By staying calm, you remain in control of the situation and yourself. Professionalism and empathy aren't just buzzwords. They're powerful tools in your interpersonal arsenal. They help you navigate complex workplace dynamics gracefully and with poise, setting you apart as a true professional and leader. While it's important to handle workplace challenges independently, there are times when seeking support is not just advisable, it's necessary. Let's talk about when and how to reach out for help and why it's a sign of strength, not weakness. If you find yourself facing repeated ego clashes that are affecting your work performance, mental health, or overall team dynamics, it might be time to seek support. This is especially true if you've already tried addressing the issue directly but haven't seen any improvement, or if the behavior crosses into bullying or harassment. Approaching HR or management for support should be done thoughtfully. Start by clearly outlining the issue, focusing on the impact it's having on your work and the work environment. Be factual and objective rather than emotional. It's not about complaining, it's about seeking a resolution professionally. Documenting incidents can be crucial. Keep a record of specific incidences, dates, times, and details, especially if they are repetitive. This documentation can provide a clear picture of what's happening and is extremely helpful when discussing the issue with HR or your manager. And remember, reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a mark of professionalism. It shows you are committed to finding a solution and maintaining a healthy work environment. There's strength in recognizing when a situation is beyond your ability to resolve alone. Dealing with egos at work can be challenging, but you're not alone. Knowing when and how to seek support is key to navigating these waters effectively. All right, we've covered a lot of ground in this video on dealing with egos in the workplace. Let's quickly recap the key strategies. We talked about active listening to truly understand and acknowledge others' perspectives, effective communication, using I statements to express your views non-confrontationally, setting boundaries to maintain a healthy work environment, and we discussed the importance of knowing when to seek support from HR or management, especially when situations escalate. These strategies are not just theories, they are practical tools that can make a real difference in your daily work life. I encourage you to try them out and see the impact for yourself. And I'd love to hear from you. Share your experiences and any additional strategies you've found effective in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and build a community of support. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember, navigating workplace egos is a skill. Like any skill, it gets better with practice. So keep at it, and I'll see you in the next video.